Welcome everyone, broadcasting live from Footscray City College. You're listening to Footscray Live. My name is Taylor, and with me today I have Archie, Gronya, and James, and this is the Performing Arts Show. I have two guests with me today, Emily Antoine and Malcolm Fretz. They are both drama teachers here at Footscray City College. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us.
So both of you guys have been involved with Footscray City College and been working as drama teachers for a couple of years. So how did you guys find yourself working here, and what inspired you to become a teacher?
I started here as a student teacher, so pre-service teacher when I was at uni, and worked under the amazing Emma Schmidt, and that was enough to encourage me to be a drama teacher because she's incredible. Shout outs in London there, Emma Schmidt. So she kind of kept me in the door and just kept me involved with the school, and then I came back and got a job here, which was great. And Malcolm?
Oh, yeah, totally. I'll chime in now. I sound like a broken record telling every time how I got to Footscray, but here we go. I'll spice it up a little bit more this time. So I started teaching here about 3 years ago, but I was just teaching English and media. And as you guys know, your English teachers have no life because all we do is spend 90% of our time marking and correcting your bad grammar. Yeah. Then I was lucky enough, and so was Emily, had her little baby last year.
Yeah,
how old is she?
She's nearly 2.
Okay. And so I was lucky enough to take over the drama because that's also what I'm qualified in. So I had big shoes to fill, taking over the production and the VC classes. And then when Emily came back, it was kind of like Tweedledee and Tweedledum getting back together again.
She's a bit like Emma and I were actually as well.
Yeah, I kind of look at them like Emily is my Yoda and Emma was my Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's how I look at her as well.
Star Wars reference.
And I've been here for nine years, nearly 10 next year. So goes real quick.
James here. Did you guys always know that you wanted to do something in drama?
I wanted to be an actor when I was younger, so I think I was always going to do something with it. I'm pretty dramatic, too dramatic, some might say. So it just sort of lended itself to my career because I could be dramatic every day of my life.
Yeah, I've always been quite extroverted from doing a lot of musicals in high school and shows and studying drama at high school. And then I wanted to do all these different careers, but I realized I didn't actually want to do the careers. I wanted to be the actor playing the role on the movie. So like I said, when I was wanting to do law, I preferred the idea that Ally McBeal said to actually being a lawyer.
You wanted to be Callista Flockhart.
I wanted to be Callista Flockhart, yeah.
Archie here. Malcolm said you do heaps of musicals. Why did you decide to do Mary Poppins for next year?
Every year when we pick our productions, when I kind of pick our productions and then get approval from everyone else, I've always got a million shows going through my head, and every couple of years, say 5 years or so, we try and pick a show that doesn't use the band so that they can build and grow for a year and without the stress of a musical, because it's a really steep learning curve for young musicians because the music is like professional quality.
Yeah.
So we try and pick every 5 years or so, pick a show that has orchestrated backings that we wouldn't be able to play, so we don't have a huge string section. So we wanted to pick something that had that sort of scope with it, and Mary Poppins was one of the ones that was on the list, and we thought it'd be cool.
And it's such a great show because I think we've done so many contemporary musicals recently. To do a classic, it's going to be such a great experience for the kids.
Yeah, and everyone knows it and loves
Even
it.
Even the teachers, the PE teachers, are the ones frothing right now about Mary Poppins.
Favourite movies we've heard?
Emily, now you've directed most of the musicals here at Footscray City College for the past decade. So what would you say?
Wow, that sounds a lot.
So what would you say was your favourite musical you've done?
I love all of them for different reasons, but I did love, and I know some of our alumni said the same thing, but I loved Big Fish.
Big Fish.
Just because it was such a heartwarming, devastatingly sad,
very emotional,
beautiful show. But I also love Sweeney Todd because that was the first time that people sort of went, oh, okay, you're doing Sondheim, wow, and look at that crazy set. So we kind of stepped it up at Sweeney Todd and just have kept going since then. But yeah, Big Fish was pretty special, and I loved the film, and it was a beautiful show.
So, got a little bit of a different question for you here. Recently, they've released a few trailers for the Cats movie. I'd just like to gauge an opinion as drama teachers on how you think that's going to be.
If you couldn't hear my eyes rolling just then.
I get a lot of slack from the other performing arts teachers for this, but I love Andrew Lloyd Webber.
So do I.
I get a lot of people make fun of me a lot, but I love it, and I actually have a thing for cats. I don't know what Judi
musical?
Dench is in it. Yeah, not the animal, the musical. But Judi Dench is in it, which is cool, and I love a bit of Tay Tay. I make my kids dance for drama warm ups to shake it off all the time. So
I'm so torn because Cats is, we look at, I love Andrew Lloyd Webber and Phantom of the Opera particularly, grew up with that sort of stuff. But when you look at all the all the movies they could have made of all his musicals, and you go, oh, what's the most exciting, interesting one? Let's do the one that's just about cats, because that's literally the whole musical. Yeah. It's just about cats.
I think people just need to get over the whole weird CGI thing. I mean, we dealt with Avatar, and they had their ponytails attached to their horses. I mean, that was weird.
But there's so many big names in it, so I kind of go, well, it looks a bit rubbish, but look at all these famous people, and Judi Dench, same thing. I would watch her read the newspaper on stage. Amazing.
Definitely.
Because the Year 7s will be at Gilmore, how would that work with the production?
Yeah, so we're really keen to make sure that we really stay as one camp, one school. So what I'm going to do for the Year 7s next year is I want to go out and do a special announcement for them, talk them through a bit of it, maybe at one of their assemblies, and also go and hold a audition day there so that they don't have to come here and be really intimidated. But the actual rehearsals will still happen here, and it'll be a bit of an adventure for any Year 7s that are lucky enough to get through, because we do have, there's a limited amount of students that make it into the big production. We only had one Year 7 this year. But we're hoping there'll be amazing performers. So we're going to try and make sure that we can kind of keep it as connected as possible, though.
Actually, now that Archie mentions the merging of the campuses next year, how has the new Footscray Learning Precinct affected the drama department?
I don't think it's had a huge impact on us at all. I mean, we've still seen a great climb in our numbers for our subject area, which is a huge plus for our team, really. And it's a huge applaud to our dancing, our vocal coaching, our music department. Shout out to Paul and David Borg as well, and Jocelyn,
Margaret,
and Matthew. I think we have a great department, and that goes to show that we're just so flexible as a learning area.
And it's kind of the one thing that maybe is coming out of this. There's talk of a theatre being started up in Footscray, being built. And as part of that, that's sort of come out of the necessity of not having a local theatre. So having such a thriving community here does put a bit of pressure on the government and the local council to go, oh, well, look at all these amazing students. Let's give them
seeing how well the students are doing here in, we're now quite well known as an arts school.
Yeah, we've got kids, and we've got, we had a bunch of kids go through to VCA for music last year. We had also actors. We've got 2 more going through next year for VCA. So we're at the, some of these students are at the top of their game. These classes are 20 kids out of hundreds that have been, accepted. So, and we've got 2 next year. That's 10% of the class is from 5th grade. 10%.
Grania here. What would you say are some of the challenges of teaching drama here at Footscray?
I always look at a drama class, especially the juniors, who actually love teaching juniors, as it's you never know what you're going to get when you open that door and you meet in class for the first time. And you kind of have to read them. They're like a box of chocolates, and they all have different flavors and different styles. And so you might have an idea of what you want to teach them that term, especially Year 7s. We only get them for a short amount of time. So I might be I'm going to teach them melodrama or horror, but then we'll end up making short films. And that shows how flexible we are, because you have to go with what actually interests the kids.
And the other thing's space. It's really hard to we've only got one theatre, so it is tricky.
If you guys are just tuning in, this is currently the Performing Arts Show on Footscray Live, and currently we're joined with the drama teachers Emily and Malcolm. So guys, you mentioned you guys, obviously been working here at Footscray for quite some time. What would you say is some of your favourite memories from working as a drama teacher here?
I love watching students develop from Year 7 all the way through. And because I've been here for nearly 10 years now, I've seen a lot of that now, because you just get to a whole cycle. That's my favourite, is just seeing them from that crazy little Year 7 or really shy or something, and then seeing them come out the other end, and not necessarily becoming an actor or anything, but just being really confident. Or maybe they've found this particular niche in backstage or design or something that's helped them anyway.
The growth has been great to see. I'm teaching kids from when they're in Year 9 and a little bit more shy, and then how they've kind of burst out of their shell, and seeing them as a Year 11 now really owning the stage and things like that. And also, activities like this, like Footscray Live, seeing how kids are volunteering their time like you guys and actually shining on a totally different platform that we we didn't have before is so cool to see.
It's not passed us by that a lot of these students that are doing the radio show are performing arts students or have come through one of us. We're taking complete credit for it.
Because you're drama teachers, can you guys transition to music teachers and sing? Like, can you sing?
I can sing myself, but I couldn't teach it because I don't have enough theory behind it.
Yeah.
I didn't study music past high school, like I studied in high school.
Can you sing for us?
I can
No
hold
cats
a
here,
tune,
thanks.
But I think, Emily and I, we can both do a lot of things. Like we can both dance, we can both sing, but that doesn't mean we can teach it.
Yeah.
And that's a strong thing for a teacher to say that they can't do certain things. I'm actually going to introduce you guys really quickly to our music teacher, Jocelyn. I'm going to sub out with her really quickly. So if you guys want to, and she can answer all your music questions, actually.
Again, guys, you're currently listening to the Performing Arts Show on Footscray Live. We're currently interviewing Emily and Malcolm, and we're about to interview Jocelyn, who's also a music teacher here. Oh, she's coming. All right, guys, this is Jocelyn, our music teacher here.
Say hi.
Hi, hello.
So, Jocelyn, they were just asking us about whether we can teach music. So maybe you can give us a bit of an insight as to our music department here at Footscray.
I guess our music department is aided by the instrumental music department, which is what I've been involved in mostly for the last 5 years. And we work in tandem with the music classes, and they're heavily not theory-based. The other one. What's the other one? Practical. Thank you. Heavily practical-based, which is what we like to encourage, and we seem to get pretty good results leading from Year 7 right through to Year 12. And we've just had some pretty good results come out from our Year 12 classes, which is excellent. So
That's fantastic.
congratulations to them.
So Jocelyn also works in tandem with Emily when they're doing school production. So kids spend quite a lot of time with Jocelyn doing their voice and learning the music for the shows. Okay, and then by the time they get to Emily, they know exactly what they're doing with the songs and everything.
And our bad jokes are familiar.
And our bad jokes. Yeah.
So I remember before, Emily, you were saying that a reason you love being a drama teacher is because you can be dramatic in your day-to-day life. Josh and Malcolm, why do you guys love teaching music and drama?
Oh, I love teaching music because music is the best. I don't think I could teach anything else. I don't know. I think music, you can be who you need to be with whatever music you play and whatever songs you choose to present. And I think that's really important, that self-expression. Like what drama is, it's that self-expression. And you get to learn teamwork and collaboration skills, and we do a little bit of arranging and composing in my singing classes, but that is also in music classes as well. Yeah.
I love drama teaching because every single day is completely different. You have those classes where I guess every term, if you're doing a certain subject, it's exactly the same thing, whereas every drama class, I don't know what I'm going to get. And that's kind of cool. I love being on my feet, finding out new games to show the kids or new workshops or acting styles to show the kids that I can have fun with as well. So I never feel like I'm actually teaching, which
It's
is,
a fun
I think,
job.
It's a fun job. We're very lucky.
It's like the funnest teacher job.
Yeah.
Again, if you're just tuning in, this is currently the Performing Arts Show at Footscray Live. We are currently interviewing drama teachers Malcolm and Emily and music teacher Jocelyn.
I'm just wondering, what do you guys think that teaching at Footscray High School will look like in 10 years' time?
I hope we have like floating desks and like hover. That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Maybe we could all like project them in from our beds because then we wouldn't have to get up. No.
Or I would really like to see some really flashy new equipment in the theatre and that we actually have ownership of the theatre and say who can come in and who doesn't.
Oh, did you want a realistic approach?
realistic?
To this? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
The magic
A real
carpet.
thing, yeah. Oh, we could do Aladdin. Hopefully it won't look too dissimilar to now. Like I think if we just continue on this trajectory, then that's great. Like, I don't think we need to do anything too crazy.
I agree with Emily. I think we're a very well-oiled machine within the arts department, and I feel like it's just going to get better in the new precinct, definitely.
Now that you guys mentioned technology, what do you think just the technology that we have now, compared to just 10 years ago, has affected the drama department?
I can definitely talk to that because when I first started here 9 years ago, the first thing we used to hire in a disco ball for our musical. The first thing I ever bought, I was like, we're buying a disco ball. It was about $100. It was so cheap. And we now have this beautiful big disco ball, which is as big as some of the big theatres. But every year we've tried to improve our technology, getting LED lights in, all these. And now we're using things like we've got 2 brand new LED spotlights. We're using this great projector, which is a extreme short throw projector, so there's no shadow because our theatre's kind of difficult space-wise. There's all kinds of stuff. So we're really always looking, just looking at trying to use the technology that's used in the industry. Because we even use things like QLab, which are industry standards. So we try and really push the technology we're using to be something that is going to benefit people out in the industry as well.
But if anyone out there wants to donate a high definition sensory moving projector, that would be really
that'd be awesome.
Because we might be looking for one of those.
If you've got one at home, just drop it in.
Well, thank you guys for this interview. Now, as one final question, what would you say, would you have any advice to any, sort of aspiring actors or someone aspiring that just wants to be into the industry? Any advice for them?
Persistence. Just be persistent. If you really want it, you've got to stick at it because you might not get into that university first or second or third or fourth time, or you might, and you'll get knockbacks. You've just got to have a thick skin with it. So if you love it and you want to pursue it, then you've got to be willing to fight for it.
Yeah, you need to be resilient and also not to take yourself too seriously. That's the most important thing. And I think that's the key to being resilient because a lot of kids will get criticism and feedback, and what they need to realize, it's not taking a dig at the kid, it's giving them advice that they should really learn how to apply that feedback. That's really important.
And Jocelyn, sorry, I was going to say.
Definitely. I just echo what Emily and Malcolm have said, that it's persistence and perseverance creates resilience, and they're the 3 things that you really need to pursue arts, I think, in general.
For sure. Well, that brings our show to an end. Thank you so much for joining us, Malcolm, Emily, and Jocelyn.
Thank you, guys.
That was, again, the Performing Arts Show. My name was Taylor, and I'd like to thank my panel, Archie, Gronya, and James. Again, you have been listening to Footscray Live.